Welcome to EDU World Space.
Okay, so this is the force diagram for the crates. And assume that the crate is in equilibrium, therefore the net force along the xy direction should equal 0. So we have F minus P is equal to 0, which means that F is equal to P. F here is the friction on the crate, and P here is the force applied by the person. And on y direction, we have N minus W is equal to 0, which means that N is equal to W. N is the normal force on the crate, W is the gravity of the crate. And we know the friction, in this case, can be equal to mu Sn, which is equal to mu Sw. Mu S here is the coefficient of the static friction. So eventually you have P is equal to mu Sw, and we know mu S is equal to 0.5, W is equal to 150 pounds. If we plug in back to the equation with these values here, eventually you have the force P is equal to 75 pounds. So now let's assume that the crate slides before, here should be tipping, okay? So my assumption is that, assume that the crate slides before tipping. So now we can apply the moments at point A. Consider counterclockwise moment is positive, clockwise moment is negative. So we have P times 3 feet minus W times X is equal to 0. So we have P times 3 feet is equal to W times X. So we have X is equal to P times 3 feet over W. Remember, we got P is equal to 75 pounds, and we know the weight of the crate is 150 pounds. So if we plug in these values back into the equation, eventually we'll have the lever arm for the gravity is equal to 1.5 feet. But based on our observation here, you can tell that X here is definitely much less than the 1.5 feet. Therefore, our assumption was wrong. And we know that X is less than or equal to 1 feet. So since our assumption was wrong, that means that the force P equal to 75 pounds doesn't make sense here, okay? And this also means that crate tips before slipping. So now we need to determine a new value for force P. So now let's continue with such equation here. So now we have X is equal to 1 feet. So now we can determine the smallest value for force P, which is equal to 50 pounds. And this is the answer for this question.